Hello sweeties, welcome back to my channel. Hope you all are doing great. In today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful corporate outfit in this video. This is a well-detailed tutorial and a very complete video from the cutting to the sewing part, so make sure you watch this video to the end. And please, if you know you are new to this channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, share this video, click on the like button. This gown is in one of the corporate outfits I publish on my channel. Like I promised, I'll be taking them one after the other. So let's go ahead and do the needful. So guys, this is my fabric. So we'll be starting our measurements with the down part of the dress. You know, this corporate outfit has a joining around the half length, so meaning that we have to cut the upper body separate, then the down part separately. So we'll be starting our tutorial with the down parts. So the first measurement I'm taking here is the hip line measurement, which is 9 inches from my waist. Remember, this is your upper waist where you will join the upper parts and the down part together. So the next measurement I will take after my hip line is the knee length, which is 20 inches from her waist. Then the length of the down part, that is the skirt, will now be 24 inches. So I'll go ahead and join all the lines together. So I will come back to the waist. I will now take her round half length. Her round half length is 34 inches. So I'll go to the hip line. I will take her hip circumference. Her hip is 41 inches. So I will take 41 inches divided by 4. Then I will add 1.5 for sewing allowance. Sorry, I didn't add the sewing allowance for the waist, so I added the same 1.5. So I will now go to her knee line. Whatever I have around her hip, I will remove 1.25 inches from it. I will now input it both on the knee line and on the length of the skirt. So the next thing I will do is to join all my measurements together. Can you see how I place my curve ruler? Can you see? So I will join from the waist to the hip, then from the hip to the knee line and the length of my skirts. So this is all about the front part. It's very simple. So I'll go ahead and cut. This is just the same way you cut your straight skirts, whether long or short. The difference is just that you have to add to the length of the skirt if you're making a longer skirt. So I'll go ahead and cut the back part of my skirt part, which is also the down part of the gown. So the difference between the front and the back part is just the hip allowance, and I'll be adding that to the back part. So I will come to the waistline. I will take 1 inch. Can you see? I added 1 inch to the waistline. So I will now connect it to the hip line. So that 1 inch I added to the back part, I will connect it from the waist to the hip line, as you can see me doing. So I will now indicate my zip allowance. So I'll go ahead and cut. So I will make a notch on that zip allowance. So this is all about the down parts. I'm done with the cutting. You know, there is no lining So I'll go ahead and cut the upper body, that's the bodice. So the first thing I will take, I'm cutting the front part. You know, the front part, there's a joining at the center, so I have to measure out 1 inch. So from the shoulder, I will take this 1 inch to the length of the upper bodies. So I'll take it to the from the shoulder to the half length. That is the 1 inch. So I'll go ahead and join the lines together. So I will come to the center. I will indicate the length of my upper bodies, which is 17.5 inches. So I will connect them together. So I will now start my measurement from that 1 inch. So the first measurement I will take is the neck depth. Then after that, I will take the bust point from the shoulder to the bust point, which is 10.5 inches. Then from the shoulder to the under bust, which is 14.5 inches. So I will come to the center of the fabric. I will take all the measurements so that I'll be able to rule a line across. So that's it. So I will now come to the shoulder. I will now take her neck width. I'm taking neck width of 3 inches. So I will connect it to the neck depth. That's length times width. Remember, I'm taking all my measurements from the 1 inch. So from that 1 inch, as you can see the way I place my tape, I will take her shoulder measurement divided by 2. That will give me 8 inches. Then from that 8 inches, I came down by 1 inch for her shoulder slope. So from the shoulder slope, I will now take her bust line, which is 8 inches. Her bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. So that will give me her bust or chest line, whichever one you want to call it. So I'll rule a line across. So on that same bust line, I will take her shoulder measurement divided by 2. That is the 8 inches. Then I will rule a line. I will join it to the shoulder, and this line will be her armhole line. So the next measurement I will take is her nipple to nipple measurement, which is 8 inches divided by 2. Remember, this fabric is on fold. So 8 inches divided by 2 will give me 4 inches. I added half an inch for sewing allowance. So the next measurement I will take is my dart measurement. So I'm taking that of 1.2 inches for the side front and 3/4 of an inch for the center front. So I will join the line from my half length to my under bust. 1/4 of an inch on the center front, then 1.2 inches on the side front. So I'll go ahead and connect my dart curve from my under bust to my bust point. You know, that's where the bust is. So I will come to the armhole line. I will divide the armhole line into 2. So on that midpoint of my armhole, I came down by 1 inch under and 1 inch up. So the one under, I will connect it to the side front. The one up, I will connect it to the center front. Can you see? So remember to replace the dart. The 1 inch that you are cutting out there, you add 1 inch for joining. So what I have there is 2 inches. So I will come to my neckline. I will connect my neck curve. So this is all about the front cutting for the upper bodies. So I'll go ahead and cut. So I know if you have been following my channel, I know by now you must have known all this. So this is the normal princess dart cutting, and that's what we normally use because it will give you a perfect balance for your bust. You know, at times some people will cut a bust point, especially the normal darts. At times it look as if your breast is pressing. is because there is no enough space for the bust. So this is the front part. So I will join the center together, then I will now join the side to the center front. Can you see? So after joining the side to the center front, I will now close the front. So the next thing I will do is to cut the back part. So I will also measure 1.2 inches. So this 1.2 inches will serve as my zip allowance. So I'll go ahead and take it from my shoulder to the length of the upper bodice, which is, I'm taking 17 inches for the back part. That's the length of my upper bodice. So I'll come to the center. I will measure 17 inches from my shoulder. So I will join the lines together. So I will come to the shoulder. I will take the neck width. I'm taking neck width of 3 inches and neck depth of 1 inch as usual. So I will take the shoulder measurement divided by 2, which is 8 inches. So on that 8 inches, I will come down by 1 inch for shoulder slope. Remember why we take 8 inches is half of your shoulder, because the fabric is folded into 2. So I will now measure 8 inches. That's my bust line. From that 1 inch shoulder slope. So that is it. So the only measurement we have here, the only vertical, is the bust line and the half length. So I'll measure the 8 inches again on the bust line. Then I will connect it to the shoulder slope, and that will serve as the armhole line. So I'll go ahead and take my nipple to nipple line, which is your bust span. I will take it 4.5 inches. That's 8 inches divided by 2 plus half an inch for joining. So I'll come to my shoulder. I will come to my armhole line. I will indicate the midpoint. Then I will take half inch for that on the half length line. So I'll go ahead and connect it to the armhole line. Remember, I divided the armhole, I indicated the midpoint of my armhole. So this is all about the back part. So I'll go ahead and take all my horizontal measurements. Your horizontal measurement is your round, all the measurement that has to do with your circumference. That is when you place the tape around your bust, around your waist, around your under bust. Those are horizontal measurements, while the vertical measurements are straight lines from your shoulder to your hip, from your hip to your bust, from whatever to whatever you get. Those are straight measurements. They are called vertical measurements. So that's it. So after cutting, can you see I've cut the back? So I'll go ahead and join the center back and the side back together as usual. Can you see that? So I'll go ahead and do that. So I'm done joining the front part. I joined the center to the side front. Then I joined that opening, the line at the center. There was an opening, so I joined it together. Can you see? So this is what the front part look like after joining. So I've already cut out the armhole. Sorry, I have to do this off camera, because if I don't, this tutorial will be too long. So can you see? It's something I've done several times on my channel, just to take your last trimming after joining. So it's very simple. So this is the down part, this is the back part. So I'll go ahead and join the down part to the upper parts. I'll join them together. Remember, this is the back part, so I will do the same thing to the front part. And remember to join your down, there's the down part of my dress, the back part has a dart. So that's what I'm talking about. Can you see? I've joined the upper bodies to the down parts. So this is what it look like. So I'll bring the second one, I will join them together. So this is the center back. So you have to join the upper bodies to the down part. Then after that, you now join them together. Remember, we'll still use it to fix the zip. But before we do that, we have to join the back parts and the front part. So we are joining the shoulders, as you can see me doing. So I'll go ahead and join the shoulders together. So after joining the two shoulders, the next thing I will do is to take my round neck measurements. You know, this beautiful dress has a wing collar. That is wing collar, as you saw at the beginning of this tutorial, the video of the dress we are making. So I'll go ahead and iron the shoulder. So before I fix the collar, I have to open the zip allowance again. Can you see? After ironing it, you know why we close this zip allowance, then after we open it again, so that you will see that line where you will stitch your zip on. So after losing it now, that line will be there. So when you come, you just fix your zip on that line. So if you don't join it, that line will not be visible for you. So that's why we do that. So we now lose it. You see, you will see the iron. So that's where I'll be measuring my neck this thing from, because I will not join the collar to the zip allowance, no, because there's a zip. So I will now take it from that zip allowance. I will take round my neckline. So I will take it round, and the collar will not get to the center of the front parts. So that's it. When I'm fixing it, you will see it. So I'll go ahead and cut out my collar. So I'm taking 6 inches width. The way I place my tape, what I have there is 6 inches, and it's on fold. So because my round neck is 17.5 inches, I have to divide 17.5 inches into 2. And because I'm cutting it on fold, so what I will have is 17.5 inches divided by 2. That will give me about 8.7. So that 8.7, I will divide it by 2 because I'm cutting it on fold. Can you see? So what I have is about 4 point something. So that 4 point something is the part I will be attaching on my neck. So this part now will be longer. One part will be longer because this is the part. The longer part is the part that has the wing. Can you see? Just watch what I'm doing. So this part now has 6 inches. Is 6 inches longer than the shorter parts. So that shorter part is about 4.5, while this part is about 11 inches, 11 or 10 point something. Can you see? So this is how you cut the wing collar, because it's actually long. It's not like a normal collar. A normal collar wing that is short, that is about 2.5 to 3 inches. This one is a longer design. So this is what it look like. Can you see that? So this shorter part is the part that will be on I will stitch on my neck, and it's folded into 2. So what I have is 4 point something. Remember, my round neck is 17.5. So I have to divide 17.5 into 2, and that gave me 8 point something. Then because I'm cutting it on fold, so I have to divide the 8 point something into 2. So when I open it, I will now have 8 point something. That is 17.5 divided by 2. It's very, very simple. Don't forget to ask me question on the comment section on whatever you do not understand about this tutorial. Thank you so very much. And remember to subscribe. Can you see? So when I open it up, I will now have about 9 inches. Remember, I'm going to stitch it together, so I added the sewing allowance. So I cut 4 of this and I iron haste on them. So I'm using 2 for one part and 2 for one part because my neck is divided into 2. So that's what it is. So I will stitch on this part. So the shorter part where my finger is, that's the part I will be stitching on my shoulder. So I'm not going to close that part. So can you see what it look like? Can you see? So those 2 longer parts that came out, those are called the wing. That's why it's called a wing collar. So that's what it is. So I'll turn it to the right parts. So remember to bring it out very well. Turn it to the right part and I will iron. So what I have here is 2 because I divided my neck into 2. So I'll stitch one from center front to the center back. I will stitch the other one from center front. So this is my fabric. So I will now pick my collar. So I will start my sewing from the zip allowance. Can you see? I will not stitch on that zip allowance. So I will give space for my zip. So I will not stitch. I'm placing it under. After I will not turn it. I'm stitching the collar from under. That is the wrong part of my dress. Remember, it will not get to the center front. So you have to leave half an inch for one side and half an inch for one side, and that will give me 1 inch joining together. So I'm not stitching it to the center front because there is a button there on that center front. Can you see? So I will now turn it to the right part after stitching. So I'm done doing that, guys. Can you see what it look like after stitching the 2 from center back to center front? Can you see there is a space in that center front? That's where I join together. So what you do here is you stitch. You see, you fold that center, fold it in a little, fold it in, then you stitch on top, then stitch your allowance, you top stitch on it. Can you see what I'm doing? It might be somehow, somehow confusing here, but it's not something to worry about. After sewing, everything will be normal. So the next thing I will do is to cut my sleeve. So where the line is serving as my shoulder point. So I will come down by 4 inches. So on that 4 inches, I will take my round armhole. So after the 4 inches, I came down again by 8 inches for my bicep. You know how I cut my sleeve. So this is what it is. I will now join it from that shoulder to that 4 inches, which is my round armhole. So I will take my round bicep, which is about 13 inches. I will add 1 inch for sewing. So I will connect it. Then I will take, this sleeve has extension. Just watch how I'm going to cut the sleeve. So this is not the whole length of the sleeve. There's a joining. So this is the normal sleeve. So this one will be around 3/4 of my hand, though I'm not the owner of the dress. So this is not the total length of the sleeve. There will be an extension. Can you see where my hand is? That's where this particular part is going to stop. So now I've cut out this. This is for the design of the sleeve, the extension. So what I have here is 9 inches width, and the length is about 22 inches because I'm going to drag it. I'm going to make it shorter to suit the normal width of the sleeve. So the first thing I will do is to take, after I've cut it out, as you can see, so I will now fold 2.2. So what I have now on fold is 2.2 inches. Can you see? So I will stitch. Can you see where my finger is? I will stitch it. I will stitch on top. So I will fold this part, which will be end of the sleeve. I'll fold it twice. I will hem it. Yes, see where my finger, see what I'm demonstrating to you. So I'll fold that part. I'll fold it twice. So after folding, can you see, after stitching it, can you see what it look like? So on this part where I folded 2.2, I will now measure 1.2 inches. So this 1.2 inches is where I'll be stitching my elastic, my 0.5 elastic band. So I will now stitch it from the beginning. I will come down by half an inch, so by 1 inch. So this is that part I'll be closing it. So when you stitch, you drag it, you stitch, you drag. Can you see what I'm doing? So that it will now come together as you can see in the video. Can you see? So this is what it is. So after that, I've hemmed the normal sleeve. So I will now pick that part. Can you see how I'm placing it? I will now stitch that elastic. That place where I stitch that elastic, that's where I'll be stitching on the normal sleeve, on the main sleeve. Can you see? So I'll stitch it on top. I'll stitch it on top. Then later, I will now attach it to the main sleeve. Can you see? I'm done doing that. Can you see what our sleeve look like? This is the back part. So this is the front part. This is the right side of our sleeve. Isn't this beautiful? It's so beautiful. Please, can you see it on my hand? Please guys, remember to subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up and stay glued to this channel because we have a project. We have plenty project to take care of. So before I attach it to my body, to the body of the cloth, I have to indicate the midpoints. I fold the sleeve into 2. Can you see? So this is the parts. I will now place it on the shoulder line. That place I join the shoulders together. So I will now stitch. I will stitch from that center to the back part, then I will stitch the other side. So after stitching, I will now close my gown. I'll close it from this sleeve to the down part of my dress. So the next thing I will do is to hem the down part, then fix my zip, and that will be all for this beautiful corporate outfit, guys. See you in our next tutorial, and bye for now.